What are the actual causes of high functioning anxiety in women? Well, I'm going to explain the real causes because the causes are contributing to the problem in brain. Most of the people are going to tell you to just be more positive and just to let go, just to practice certain techniques. And that's why most of the women come to me and they're like, well, we have been working on these issues for so long and none of the approaches that actually work. Because my counselor, my therapist has been telling me to let go and to be more positive, to start looking at this thing with this perspective. All of these approaches are trash. They don't work. Okay. So, how can you actually start working on yourself so that you can let go of that high functioning anxiety? No, we would need to first begin with what are the factors that are making you anxious? Sometimes it's the people around you. That's why you have social anxiety. Sometimes you feel like always taking more care of people, or your child, or your daughter, or your husband. Sometimes you feel that you're more responsible. And that's why when you fall short in doing that, you start second guessing yourself. You start wondering that maybe somewhere I'm falling short. So you get into this mode of trying to do more. Now, where actually this trying to do more is coming from, the desire to be perfect, where it is actually coming from. It's coming somewhere from your childhood where you are told that you're not enough. So I would like you to take a moment and reflect when exactly someone told you as a child that you're not enough, whatever the choices that you make are not enough, whatever the efforts that you do are not enough. The moment you find these answers, now this is the awareness of your trauma. This is the first step of healing. That, all right, this is where it is coming from, and it means that I don't need to be perfect. I only need to learn how to carry my imperfections and still be okay with what's happening around. All right, so the desire to be perfect. First of all, let me tell you how it's affecting you. When you want to be perfect, of course, you want to do more for people. You want to do more for your daughter. You want to do more for your husband. You don't want to you do more for your son, and you want to do more for your parents. But ultimately, what's happening? Here are things that are happening in your life. Your husband feels ungrateful because he consistently dismisses your efforts. Your sons and your daughters, they're getting more irresponsible, more aggressive, or more demanding, or more sensitive because they are getting to know that whatever happens, that's going to be the mama's responsibility, not mine. So they are never responsible for things that they are currently doing. So you are trying to take care of them to a degree that you are accepting sometimes mistreatment from them. So you don't have to accept mistreatment. You will have to balance it. Now this doesn't mean that where they need support, you're not supporting them. Okay, you're supporting your spouse, you're supporting your children, you're supporting your friends. But then you also have to let go. What is letting go? It's like, all right, I have supported you to this point, and after this point, it's your job to do it. Okay, you would know where your capacity ends. You would have to support them to the capacity that you know you can. And how to evaluate your capacity when you start feeling anxious. The moment you start feeling anxious, maybe I need to do more, maybe I need to do more, maybe I need to consistently check whether I'm being the perfect mother or perfect wife or perfect friend. Maybe I need to, maybe they are thinking that I'm not the perfect one. Maybe they are thinking that I'm not the right one. The moment these doubts start showing up, it means that sometimes at this place your capacity ends. You have done your maximum, and now it's your job to let go. And you will have to practice letting go. I cannot tell you to be positive about the situations when you are not addressing your deeper traumas inside that are making you feel that you have to be perfect one. So that part you have to let go, you know. Now there are a lot of people, a lot of Muslim women who think that, well, we have to just be patient because this is dunya. That's like giving up. That's not what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said to us. Okay? Patience never means that you are pressing yourself. Patience never means that you are accepting mistreatment. And patience never means that you would lose people out of patience. No, you're not going to lose people. Yes, you will only lose people who are actually not yours. And how would you know? When you slowly start reclining back, you're not leaving them, you're not asking them to go away, you're not shutting them off, you're not stonewalling, you're just reclining back, communicating gently, and then seeing how these people are responding to your incapacity. Because now you're shifting the responsibility. Learn to shift responsibility silently sometimes. You don't even have to always say this to people that okay, I've done this part. It's not your job. It's your job now to carry on further. Sometimes you don't have to say that. You have to connect with here, with your heart, with your feeling, because that's where it begins. That's where healing begins. So once you connect here, that's when you can feel that emotion when it starts into that anxiety mode. It means that whatever you're doing from that point onwards, that is coming from a place of self-doubt. And that would always put you in this doing energy. You're gonna start feeling more anxious. Okay? That is the part where you have to do the tawakkul. That is the part where you have to handle your affair to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the part where you have to be patient. This is the actual patience, where you're doing your part and then you're trusting Allah with the rest. You're not overdoing your part. You're being patient over whatever happens after that, because now you're entrusting the entire affair to Allah. So the quote of Umar ibn al-Khattab, tie your camel and then have tawakkul. It's a two-part, two-step process. You can't keep tying the animal. You can't keep tying the camel. You have to tie it and then let go of the rest. But what's stopping you from letting go? That's the childhood pattern, because your brain is used to this pattern. Your brain has built this pattern over time. And unless or until we don't emotionally resolve your trauma from your mind, you would be in this doing energy more and more and more. So it's very, very important to heal the traumas, go back to the past with me in therapy, of course, and address whatever are the confusions inside of you that are that are in your mind since childhood. However, you can also do it on your own. You can also heal yourself on your own, but that's going to take a lot of time and a lot of conscious effort. However, my simple tip to those people who don't want to come one on one in therapy is that start slowly stepping away. Okay, notice wherever you feel anxious, and notice when are you doing actions coming from self-doubt and they are not intuitive actions, they're not inspired actions. As long as those actions are not inspired, they're not flowing with your energy, something is wrong. Maybe you need to recline back, reflect, process until you get into that energy where you can do those actions. Maybe you need a break at that time. Maybe you can communicate to people that, all right, here I feel incapacitated. I would have loved to cooperate, but here I feel tired and exhausted. I hope you understand. So you are also demanding people to cooperate with you, even though you are helping them, because you can't be the perfect one. I remember my time when I began counseling. At that time, I had a lot of wounds inside of me, and those wounds were manifesting in my counseling. So I was the one taking weight of people, taking too much pressure of people to a degree that I was following them and they were not even working on themselves. So that's when I learned that I can't continue helping people this way, because that's where they are getting repelled by me, first of all, because they think that I'm taking too much of their pressure or burden. And secondly, they also need to reflect on their actions on their own. So I started helping people in a way that I would do a certain thing, and then the moment I would see that, all right, this person is not willing to cooperate, it means that I can't help them. I can't continue helping them until they are the ones to realize that they need help. So I started stepping away. And this is also what we learned in our hypnotherapy program, that you're not supposed to help people who can't help themselves currently. No matter for what reasons they are stuck, they can't do that. You can't force help onto them because that seems forceful. So that's what happens when you're trying to overly take care of people. They get repelled by you as well. And you clearly don't want that because you love them. So when you love people, you also have to make sure that you're receiving that love and you're receiving the same attention. And how is that going to happen? When you connect with your incapacity, you connect with your needs, and you connect with the fact that, all right, you can love people, but you also deserve the same amount of love back. And if you feel that it's very difficult for you to understand this whole thing, you can simply drop me a DM and we're going to work on your issues step by step.